Hi guys, hello Harehills. Um, my name is Adam, and I am trying to do some positive stuff in the community, in the Harehills community area. Next year, I will be running a couple of events to raise money for the community, starting with the Junior Football Club on the 18th of January, which is a family wrestling show. Nothing heavy, nothing seriously violent. It's all for family. So I'm raising money for the Junior Football Club, January 18th. Right, the serious part I want to get out there is the police or community pack meeting, which was last week. So I have wrote a load of notes, so I'll be reading from my notes what happened on that day if you missed the pack meeting. So my question to the police and the community councillors was, what are you doing about the street drinking in Harehills? So the police said several businesses have been issued stickers to put on the cans, so when the street drinkers or kids or whoever are buying the cans, they can find out what numbers, or if they arrest people for antisocial behaviour or the drinking, they know which shops have been selling them at the wrong time. But yeah, there will be also fines being given out, which is £100 fine. Last month, which was in October 2024, there were 10 fines given out. So the drug dealing in Hales. Members of the community feel forced to leave their homes because of the dealing, as they are scared. The police are aware of the situation. There is an operation in progress. There is 2 officers walking the beat on the Harehills Lane part. To get an arrest, they need to get the drugs tested in the lab to obviously make sure they are actually drugs and nothing else. And they say the waiting time for that is 12 to 18 months on testing. The police are saying that a lot has changed by houses, drug dealing houses and shops being raided. It's been going on for too many years now, and it does need sorting out. The emotions in the room at the time were getting quite high as people were hearing the same thing over and over by the police and Leeds City Council, especially with the housing problems and rubbish. So the drugs and alcohol, again, people are getting clean, going to rehab, etc. So people are getting help and clean, but they're getting thrown into a situation where, as they said, there is an audience ready because they're coming into Harehills or an area where there is a drug and alcohol problem. They are being set up to fail. A member of the community did ask if they can't afford to live and rent in the houses, how are they affording to buy the drugs and the alcohol? There is no local support to help the ones who are actually struggling. They have stopped a number of shops selling alcohol after a certain time. This is where I need to be non-impartial a little bit because I understand where this person's coming from. So a member of the public was asked to leave the pack meeting. One of the councillors, who is not actually a councillor for that ward, for the Harehills ward, he was a councillor for the Burningtofts ward, and because she was questioning the police, she was asking the police a question, the police were saying something, and then she was questioning their answer. She was getting quite loud, but she wasn't being abusive, she wasn't being threatening. So this councillor did say, I think you should leave, which I did speak to a number of people after the pack meeting saying he shouldn't have said that. He shouldn't have been telling that person to leave. Security did try and ask her to leave. She wasn't giving any abuse, she wasn't giving any threatening behaviour. I went out after her, after the member of the public to make sure she was okay. I went out after the member of the community to make sure they was okay. They was very, very upset, and they felt they wasn't being listened to by the police or the councillors, especially when the councillor who wasn't part of the ward told her to leave, which I personally think was out of order, to be honest. I came back in, and the security guard was pointing to a sign saying about abuse and threatening behaviour, which never even happened. So I don't know why he was trying to point out the sign to me. He did actually say to me as well that he was the boss of the library, which I don't think he had any right to say what he did to me about. He's the boss and pointing out the abuse and that, because it didn't happen. The member of the public was just a bit loud because, like I said before, saying the same thing over and over to the police and to the councillors and feel like not being heard and nothing being done. The officer did say to me that it does take time to build a case and stuff like that, but again, it's been 5+ years. Got back into the meeting, missed quite a bit because I did want to make sure the person was okay. The police commented saying there will be a police base in Harehills where the community can come in and speak to them about ongoing issues. A member of the public did say, do you think people want to be seen walking into the base by the drug dealers, or do you know what I mean, the things what they're reporting? The police say they are doing great results and things have changed, but members of the community said nothing is being changed. Drug dealing and alcohol is still an issue. A member of the public asked, what is the point of the PAC meetings, because most questions don't get the results or the answers they need. There were no numbers for the results being brought to the meeting, and all they were saying was, oh yeah, things are going good, things are changing, but there was nothing there as evidence showing that. There were no numbers for the results brought to the meeting, and there were questions asked about housing, but nobody from the housing came to the meeting, but they were invited. So the housing community and the rubbish, the organisations, they were invited, but never turned up for some reason, whatever reason. People in the community are living in fear that something will happen to them if the issues do not get fixed. 10 minutes before the end of the meeting, security were trying to push people out, giving time, like, oh, you've got 10 minutes left. I felt like he was really trying to push people out, to be honest. 5 minutes till the end, and he was really, really trying to push it for people to leave. And people just stood around at the end, and like I said, the security was trying to hurry people out, which I get in a way because it was getting late, but I felt a bit rudish, to be honest. So that was the PAC meeting notes. I would prefer to film in future. I mean, people have got their different opinions, which is fine, which I understand. For me personally, if you don't want to be filmed, I would try and not get people in. But I did film the police meeting yesterday, and I just got all the councillors. I did get permission, kept people out much as I could. I can't help it if people put their head up, but I kept faces off much as I could. And that was about the taxis getting broke into mainly, and petty crime, but mainly about the taxis. So yeah, thank you again for watching this video. Please do subscribe. If you want to be heard in the community, I'm more than happy to come up with a camera. If you want to speak on camera, come with the camera and we'll sort something out. I will be going around with meeting up with some of the councillors time to time and do some videos there as well for the community. I want to see this community succeed. I know it's a hard job. I know I've seen comments before where, if done the right way, the community can succeed. We need to come together and do it, not just a couple of people. We need the police, we need the councillors to start listening, and we don't want any issues like we did like this year with the rioting and stuff, which I have been following and reporting on as well on this channel. And I've been down at the courts following all that. So, thank you so much for watching, and speak to you all soon.